as I've explained, conveyances, which I include as transport, because you're conveying self, are of the essence in survival. I bought this for $119, believe that or not. Brand new at Kmart. And after some thorough testing, I've determined not only does it do the job of the more expensive bikes I've had in my life, over $1,000, that is, so I've had $1,000 bikes, very good mountain bikes. Not only have I determined that this does the job that they do, I've determined that the drivetrain is smoother, the seat's more comfortable, and the steering is better. Yes, you heard that right, and this is a $119 bike, and I've ridden several mountain bikes over my lifetime and owned many, and a few $1,000 ones. I think two. I had two bikes that were worth about that much, and you can go further. You can get mountain bikes that are worth $5,000, even 10. Though that's a bit more rare, but you do get those really good mountain bikes that cost $2,000 or $3,000, which you can get from a bike store. But that's like the Rolls Royce of mountain bikes. $1,000 mountain bikes are still like, it's like buying a club sport mountain bike, but generally speaking, when you spend about $299, $399 on a brand new mountain bike at those stores, you don't get very good quality, even poor quality. But when you spend $1,000, you get really strong frames, good suspension, and all that sort of stuff. They throw a few things in, etc. But I can tell you now, I've tested this, and from what I've grasped thus far, it's the ultimate bang for your buck. You don't get better bang for your buck, and this seat's adjustable, so you could be a 200 centimeter giant and it's perfect fit. It's the ultimate bike. It is just so good, so comfortable. It just takes bumps well. Its braking system is good. I think I need to adjust it a little, do a few things on it. And note that when you want to make modifications, also take this into consideration. Why the hell would you want to buy a $1,000 or $2,000 bike and modify it and get new seats, better fucking pedals and all that sort of stuff? Because that sort of defies the point of spending money to modify something. You're already spending all that money on an expensive bike. It should come with everything that's excellent, all the best things you want. So when you spend $119 on something like this, the ultimate bang for your buck, that's when you spend $40, get a brand new seat. That's not that. This is the standard seat. Get a really comfy seat. You might want to get different wheels. You might want to fix the pedals. You might want to get a different braking system. You might want to get a different gearing system. There are bits and pieces you can do to the bike to modify it. And it's just logical to do that to the $119 bike and not something you're going to spend $2,000 on, or $1,000 above, I should say. Would you buy a club sport from the factory and then start putting spoilers on it and lights and upgrading it? No, you buy it because you want it as is. People do that to lesser cars, cars that don't cost a mint. So it's the ultimate bang for your buck, and it's the ultimate thing to modify according to your dictates, according to what you want. But let's be survival specific in this case, because we don't want to go off survival essentialism. And what this relates to in the survival essentials, the 4 survival essentials: shelter/fire, that's 1. Signaling, that's 2. Water, that's 3. Food, that's 4. What this relates to in that is conveying yourself, the person, to a new shelter, a potential. It allows you to scout for shelters much easier. You might want to find water somewhere, and this allows you to roll down hills, to walk it uphill, which you'd walk up anyway, thus rolling down a hill again. It allows you to just get a lot more kilometers in a day. So rather than walking 20 Ks in an entire day, you could cover 200 Ks on a mountain bike if you push hard enough, between 100 and 200 Ks easily, if you don't stop pedaling to find water, or rolling down hills and conserving energy and being smart about the way you operate the bike. So, and as well as food, so it allows you to find food too. So that's what these conveyances are for. They're not there just to cruise around. Otherwise, if that was the case, you wouldn't do it at all. You'd conserve energy and you wouldn't want to expend any energy. But energy needs to be expended at some stage to find the water, to find the shelters, to find your food. So it's just like the classical, you've got to spend money to make money. Well, guess what? You've got to spend energy to find energy. That's just the way the human body is, or the world works. You can't find water and food sitting on your bum. You've got to get out there and find water. You've got to get out there and expend energy to achieve energy, to obtain energy. So that's what conveyances are for. That's why I've shown you the scooter, and that's why I'm now showing you the bike. Now, I'm going to stress emphatically that the bike is a better choice than the scooter when you've got your survival essentials guaranteed for at least a month. Because there's no point in buying a new bike if you're only going to have your survival essentials guaranteed for a week, because come a week goes and then you're back to square one. You may as well have the scooter. Why? Because the scooter allows you to conserve much more energy than the bicycle. Okay, the scooter, you just stand on it and it it hauls you uphill, down hills, and it hauls you that long for up to 10 Ks. Some even do 20 or 30 Ks, depending on what scooter you get. But when you know that you're going to be fine for at least a month, and you've got your survival essentials sorted for that whole month in your survival situation, your urban survival situation, the bicycle. That's the go-to, because it doesn't run out of fuel. You don't need an electricity supply. You may need to have a basic understanding of mechanics, bicycle mechanics, but it's not that hard. You can even learn on the go. And you're sweet. You've got something that will take you wherever you want to go. Also note that on very long journeys, so let's just say this is a war zone and you need to get the fuck out of there and travel 100 kilometers northeast, you don't want to do it on the scooter. That's unreliable. You'd do it on this with your pack, and you'd get there. It would take you the day, or at the very least half a day to 3/4 of the day, but this is what would take you from one part of a very, very dangerous zone to another part efficiently, through forests, through alleyways and through roads. You'd take something like this. You wouldn't take the scooter. It's too dangerous. You might need to pedal really fast at some stage because someone's chasing. There are just many factors that could go wrong, and the bicycle's the go-to. Just ensure that before you take off, everything is in good repair, everything is working. So you should do a pre-travel check when you do those journeys. You don't have to really do a pre-travel check if you're just going down the road or looking for some food and water. You sort of should every now and again, but when you do a long journey on these bicycles, just like a car, you should do a pre-travel check the brakes are functioning, check the gears are working, check the chain's not slipped and it's lubricated, check the tyre pressure, the standard checks, check the seat's not wobbling, it's all ready to go. So you don't have to fuck around when you're in the middle of a epic journey. And desirably, you should have a bicycle tube repair kit, one that allows you for at least 2 or 3 repairs, and maybe one spare tube. That's a luxury. So if you have that, that's excellent. If you don't, well, you've got to do what you got to do anyway, don't you? So here's the other aspect. In a survival situation, in an urban survival situation, whatever it is, there may be times when the whole grid's down, all hell's broken loose. This could be in America, Australia, many of the numerous supermarkets or massive outlets in Europe, and it doesn't matter where it is. Even third world countries these days have those sorts of shops. So you could be stuck in a store, and guess what? They keep these in boxes. So it's highly unlikely you're going to be within the vicinity of a bicycle shop. In Australia, there are plenty, but even still, there aren't enough that they're in every single suburb and that you're going to stumble across one easily, especially elsewhere in the world. But very often, especially in Australia, you will come across a Big W or Kmart or even Rebel Sport. You come across all these things, and with these bikes, they usually come in boxes, unassembled. So they're easy to assemble. It took me minutes, and it was already and I assembled it. It was just so easy to assemble. And they come with instruction kits if you find it hard. So let's just say you're in one of those epic zombie apocalypses, even though that's highly unlikely to happen. What's more realistic is the pandemic, the war, all that sort of stuff. Let's just say you're stuck in a store, or you're stuck in a shopping centre because you're trying to be clever and you're getting water and anything you can find, which is clever if there's no dangers present. But that could probably be the most dangerous place because that's where everybody will be headed. That's what everybody will be thinking about. But if you happen to be anywhere near there and there's no one around and it is safe, well, they keep these in boxes and you can assemble them quickly and bang, you've got the bike. It takes a few minutes. You may even assemble a few of them if there's a few of you there. And you've got your survival transport. You wouldn't want to use a car. You'd want to stay on these sorts of things and have a pack. They're more versatile. They don't require fuel or electricity. So a scooter is a good choice when the grid is up or you've got an electricity supply. Not to mention if you need to conserve energy. So that's superior in that case. But if everything's sorted, I rate this. This is therefore superior. Because if you pedal all the time and you exert a lot of stress on your body, especially your legs and core, it'll only take about a week or two for your body to generally fully repair from all that exercise. That's why I say a month. Really, it's 2 or 3 weeks, but just a month to be certain. So your body's fully recovered and you're always focusing on the main aspect of your survival journey, which is the 4 essentials. So I highly rate this bike. I'm actually very, very impressed at how efficient this bike is. Better than the $1,000 bikes I've had. So, like I said, not only does it match it, I think it's better. I definitely know that the riding comfortability, it's much more comfortable. It's just so much more comfortable. It has smoother gears. It's just impressive for $119. So that's the other aspect I want to cover. If you're in a survival situation and the grid's up, which is most of the time for anyone homeless or in some other cases, even in the pandemic, well, this is what you want to get with the $119 that you have. So it might not be the case where you stumble across them when all hell breaks loose and all systems are down, all the supply chain's down and you're in Kmart and whatever and you're going to take it and go. In a general situation, you just pay for it because it's cheap. It's $119 and this is your survival transport as a homeless person or in a pandemic or whatever the fucking situation is. This is the ultimate go-to. This is what will keep you on your feet and what will get you back to work or what will get you to work. This is this ultimate survival tool. So highlight that. The ultimate survival tool. It's a conveyance. And the conveyance is what ensures that you procure your essential items.